Right here, right now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my! Oh, we're live. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you and welcome to another edition of this week's MMA Huddle, where I'll be breaking down. Oh, we're live now. I'm okay. The timer's on now. Okay, I'm going to go with live right now, folks. Okay, breaking down Blaydes versus Lewis as always. I'll go over some betting later on. Will cannot make it tonight. He's had some cool news tied up. He's not able to make it. It was a last minute thing. He dropped me a message. Not bad. Don't worry. Everything's fine with him. It's all cushy. He just couldn't make it. So sadly, it's just me tonight. I would love Will to be here, as I always hear that you guys love it when the two of us together, like a little partnership that we have. But just for tonight, guys, it's just me. So feel free to join the conversation, but to the side. I want to hear your comments on, I want to hear comments on last week's card, which was insane. Let's quickly talk about that. You know, Kamaru Usman, man, I cannot see that dude doing anything wrong. He is looking absolutely fantastic. Super impressed by him. I feel he's just been always evolving. Me and Will and Kelton, as you saw last week, we had Kelton join us. We mentioned about Trevor Whitman and the kind of masterful kind of work he can do. And he's only had Usman for a short amount of time. You can see he's worked on a lot with him, and he's definitely developed his jab. That went a long way in that fight. And people think that a jab isn't a big deal in a fight game. It's a huge deal in a fight game. If you can jab someone's face, you can win a fight, and that's all that matters. And he really took it to him. I was super impressed by Kamaru Usman. Gilbert, bless him, uber fun dude, uber awesome guy, just didn't have it that night. And I feel like he's going to be one of those guys now where he debates about staying at 170. You never know. And he might just not stay there, and he might try to go back down to 155, but I think he should stick around. I think he's going to be a problem for a lot of guys in that division. So I can't wait to see what Kamaru Usman could do next anyway. I think Leon Edwards, I don't know what the dude has to do to get a title fight. You know, I'm not saying he's the most let's see, he's not the best to put online, so to speak. He's not the most exciting dude to watch, most exhilarating, but man, he deserves it. I don't know what else the guy can do. You know, he's been doing everything right, and man, he's just having a rough time. So look, I love Kamaru Usman. I think he's going to hold that belt for a while. I think Leon Edwards would have a rough day in the office if he had to go and face him. So it is what it is, guys. I don't know what else you thought about the rest of that card. I thought, as a whole, that was the main thing for me. That was all I was really interested in watching anyway. I didn't really see much else in that card for myself, but I'd love to know what you guys thought on that card. I'm going to jump into this card now. I want to say quicker breakdowns, but it is going to have to be quicker breakdowns because, as you can see, it's a very large card. There is a lot of fights to get through. Hell of a lot of fights to go over, man. And if all these fights pull off through all these fights kind of happen, it's going to be a long night's view. It is going to be a long day in the office. As you can see, my boy Nate's with me as well, looking handsome as ever. Loving that post, loving his artwork. By if anyone wants to know who did it, me missus, and not me. I couldn't do that. I'd probably just do it on, probably nick it from the internet and print it. But it's a wicked little painting. It'll be my accomplishment on in artwork for MMA. I'll be having this join me with quite a few in the future, guys. I might even get some more artwork. And if you guys think it's good, let us know in the comments section. Love to hear from you guys. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to do kind of smoother, quicker breakdown of the fight card tonight, guys, only because it's a lot of fights to go over, to break down in and out. Let's start at the bottom. We have Sergey Spivak against Gerard Vanderaa. Now, I kind of see this heavyweight bout going one way. I think Sergey's really showed a bit of evolution in the UFC. He's definitely grown and come along. He's improved leaps and bounds. He's almost like he's got a bit more confidence about him. And don't forget, he's only 26, and as a heavyweight, he's quite a young guy. He's had a fight against Collar Felipe, which I thought he did fantastic in. The Tui Vasa fight was a good win for him, but then when he fights like Walt Harris, who I thought was a far more experienced, far better hands, just took advantage of him. Marcin Tybura, uber experienced heavyweight, knows how to get a W in the right way and knows how to fight certain ways. I think here, Sergey, he is going to just be smart. He's going to play a little bit of possum. Gerard looked like, from what I saw of him anyway, in his kind of skill set, he's not fought high level kind of guys. He fought on the Dana White Contender Series. I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was anything out of this world. Didn't blow my mind. Didn't take my breath away. But at the same time, he's a very good fighter. I kind of look at him like Harry Hunsucker was getting hits on him, was causing him problems. I think Sergey can get him down. I think he'll have a tough time with this one. He beat Ruin Potts, which isn't a great accomplishment, but he fought guys in the UFC, lost to guys on like LFA. He's a big dude. He's a big man. He's powerful. Heavyweight division, anything can happen. Anyone at any time can stop someone. But I'm going here with Sergey. I think this kid is going to have a nice little decision win, possibly with a heavy kind of grappling kind of base on it. Yeah, so I'm going Sergey here. Next up we have is bantamweight division. Aiemann Zahabi against Drako Rodriguez. And Zahabi is the brother of the head coach of TriStar, the great and powerful Faraz. I feel bad because the dude's got a brother he was a badass kickboxer in his time, but he's also got a brother who's got a huge reputation behind him, and he's came into the UFC, and I've been bitterly disappointed watching him on the regional scene. He was, he looked the part. He looked superb. When you've got a training camp and a bunch of guys like that, it says a lot. Just going to have a quick slurp here. This podcast is not sponsored by Monster, but if they want to, feel free to. Just give me 3 cans of Monster. Don't have to even give me any money. I'll just stand there with it for an hour. Zahabi here. I feel like he's hittable. I thought, man, lacking a little bit of KO power. The Vince Morales fight as well, man. He looked just overwhelmed a little bit. And to be fair, he did have a 2-year break. And again, he's having another 2-year gap, man. The kid is having these big gaps in his career. When you go from 2017 to 2001 and there's a 4-year period and you're having 2 fights, it's not looking good, man. And Drako Rodriguez, he is possibly a little bit more of Zahabi's level, but I'm kind of sway towards Drako here. The guy's got wicked little submissions on him. He can get hit. He is hittable. I think, though, that Zahabi's lacking that little bit of aggression and power can be one of his downfalls. If you look at Zahabi when he fights, he's got a trait to him where he leans to his right-hand side. So when he's standing there and he's leaning, a lot of it on the back foot he leans on, over heavy onto one side. I feel like if someone was to spot this and to really take advantage of it, if you can throw a left snap head kick, and that means that your left foot is the lead leg and you can snap it, you could really catch him with a couple of head kicks there. You wouldn't even go for the body, you go straight for the head. I feel like there's opportunities for kind of striking as well. You can maybe punch some angles in. You could do stuff like that. And good afternoon, BP. I hope you're doing well, my man. Thanks for joining in. I think Zahabi here is beatable, definitely. I think Draco's got a bit more of a ceiling to him. He definitely seems like the more aggressive guys. He's got aggressive striking, forward movement. He's lost previously to Tony Gravely, who was signed up to the UFC and lost to Brett Johns, if any of you remember. So he's got on his record, Drako, a lot of potential. He's got a lot of stoppages, and I feel like he's going to be here super aggressive, and it's going to put Zahabi off. Zahabi's going to want to have a bit of space and a bit of time, and I don't think he'll get it. So I'm definitely going for Drako on this one, and that's my pick. I think another decision win. I'd be surprised if we get a stoppage here. Next up, we have in the featherweight division. I like this. Chase Skelly against Jamall Emmers. Now, at first, I thought Jamall Emmers is a guy who I liked a lot when he first came into the UFC. Again, another dude. He's got a good grappling skill set, but for some reason, he's really trying to apply a striking game. The kid doesn't have power, and it's really feel like he's lacking. I really feel like he needs to add something more to his game here. I feel that the Vince Hero fight was a huge kind of alarm bell if you're a fighter, because Vince came in short notice, weight class down, but he's just looked out of his depths a bit. Interesting to see who you have against Dodson versus Casey. Okay, I think Casey is like Chelsea Hackman in my opinion. Way too green, have to go experience here. Okay, BP. John Dodson's he's like I said, yeah, he is the Gleason Tebow of the bantamweight division now because he's in that position. I feel like Dodson is where he's not really going to get a title fight, but he's also not outside the top 10. He's one of the guys the UFC might feel he would be worth not having around if you would look at that fight. Casey is always improving, bro, and he is gradually just going up and up with everything in his skill set. And take away the comments of obviously the Megan Anderson kind of issue that he had. Let's not dwell on that too much. But yeah, man, I feel like he could do a lot of things, a lot of damage, and it could be a potential dangerous guy to have Dodson fight because he has got grappling, Casey. He's shown his striking's come on leaps and bounds and his conditioning's there. Dodson's got the speed, I agree. He's very powerful and he's got a lot of speed on him. So he could cause, again, rightfully so, he can cause problems. Let me just see what's going on here. Just making sure the stream is okay, guys. There we go. Connected to there. Wonderful stuff. Yeah, man, BP, I'm going to be honest with you. I think Casey could cause a surprise here. I think he's one of the guys this year to watch out in the bantamweight division. He's a wicked little fighter. Here we go, and Lewis all day. Derek has the heart, so I'm betting with my heart. Oh, well, he has got hot balls, mate. He has got hot balls. So let's be honest with you, bro. Lewis, I will tell you about my pick later on this one, but I don't know anyone who does not love Derek Lewis, and I've said it once. I'll say it again. You get onto his Instagram, it's the shit. Let's be honest with you. BP. Oh, John, I'm talking about Shana Dodson versus Casey O'Neill. Yes, in that fight, I will be breaking that down. When's that fight on the breakdown? Let me have a look here. I will be breaking that fight down in one more after this Skelly Emmers fight, bro. I'll be breaking it down for you. I'll be breaking that down for you, bro. Shana Dodson is your pick. Nice. Okay. Let me know why you're picking Shana Dodson. All right, bro. I will go over my pick in a second. I'm just going to break down the Jamall Emmers one quickly and Chase Skelly. Yeah, Jamall Emmers, for me, I feel like he's maybe lacking in the power. His grappling aspect, he's got solid grappling, and he really should use that a bit more in his game. The problem is he's fighting someone like Chase Skelly, who doesn't look it, but he's strong. He's got wicked little grappling aspects to him. Like the Jordan Griffin fight, that was a hard fight, and Jordan Griffin is a tough opponent. I thought Chase Skelly did that really well, handled it really well too. I'm worried for Jamall Emmers here. I think Jamall might have a tough time against Chase Skelly. I'm going with Chase Skelly submission. I really am. I think that when I look at Jamall Emmers, I just feel like he's not putting it together yet in the UFC. I thought the Giga Chikadze fight showed a really poor fight IQ. We got a split decision loss. The dude did not do enough grappling and takedowns. Chikadze is there for the grappling. Don't bother standing. Get the guy to the ground, and he'll have a rough day in the office. You just grapple him out all day long, and you've got yourself a nice little decision win. I'm going to chase Skelly. I'm going to go spit my name in the hat here for the submission win for Skelly. I think there'll be definitely a grappling aspect to this fight because the pair of them aren't knockout artists on the feet, but they've also got the grappling aspects that make them both really fun to watch. Shana Dodson, bro, next up. And not John Dodson. Shana Dodson against Casey O'Neill in the flyweight division. Shana Dodson with I think she's the biggest underdog last year to win. Casey O'Neill coming in, UFC debut. The Scottish lass who went over to Tiger Muay Thai, and she's fought regional scene, and she's getting a chance to make a debut. Shana Dodson, yeah, like you say, got that insane win against Agapova, which blew my mind. I thought she was out. She's gone. She's not going to be in UFC for long. Don't forget, she's got a 4-4. She's a 500 fighter. She's in the UFC way too early. I've watched some of Casey O'Neill's fights. She fought on Eternal MMA, and she fought once on UAE. She's okay. Don't get me wrong. She's not bad. She's only fought girls who have had 1 or 2 fights under their belts. I think the most experience she had was the Stillalu or something like that, I think the name was. So I wasn't overly impressed, though, by what I saw of her. She definitely likes to kind of grind out that result a bit. I didn't see too much overwhelming in her arsenal. that I think Shana might have problems with. I think Shana might have the advantage with the size and the power, even, to be honest with you. The girl hits hard. Shana Dobson hits hard. She's a bit aggressive. She can blow out in the first round, so it is a bit of a worry, Shana Dobson, that she can't get past that first round, that maybe Casey O'Neill might come on a bit strong. BP, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of feel the sway towards Shana Dobson as well. I feel that she got kind of wind in her sails. She kind of feels a bit of confidence about her. It can make all the difference in a fight. When you're fighting someone and you get a win, that changes everything. That changes your mindset, the training, everything you do. So I kind of go towards that. Just my 2 cents. Bro, good to see you, man. I'm doing great, dude. Pleasure to have you on here, man. Just give you a heads up. Will dropped in some last minute news. He couldn't make tonight because it's not bad news. Don't worry, everything's good. Everything's great with him. But we had some last minute news. He's tied up with it, and so we couldn't stream today and tonight. So it's all good. Everything's good with him though. So don't fret. Yeah, man. I think Casey O'Neill might. She will do well with the striking if it stays at distance. But I think Shana Dobson might try to close it down. I think she'll be a stronger girl. I'm actually going Shana Dobson too, man. I think she's kind of in that situation herself. She's a 500 fighter. Dana wants to make cuts. He might just go, we're getting rid of this girl, you know? Yeah, the last win, yeah, it wasn't really a fluke. She got the win fair and square. Don't get me wrong. She got that win, Shana Dobson. I agree, fair and square. Did not. I was just surprised she won. I think everyone was. I think we all were blown away. Yeah. She is. I think one of the things for Dobson was she's so inexperienced in BB. That's the biggest issue for her. She's so inexperienced coming in. She's learning the fight game at the highest level straight in, and it's hard. You know, sometimes you sink or swim, and she sang quite a few times, and she finally got a chance. Austin here. If they both win this weekend, what do you think about Tom Aspinall and Chris Durkis? Yeah, which one of them do you think has the biggest chance to shit in the apple pie this week? Love the content, G. I'm going to go with, bro. I'm a huge Tom Aspinall fan. I'm going to put it out there right now. I've interviewed him, spoke to him a load of times. Super great dude. I didn't get him on a podcast because I've been tied up with a new job. So I've had 101 things with that going on my head. So I didn't actually get him on this time. But man, I'm heavy on Tom Aspinall as a whole, bro. He's got everything. His hands are legit, but what people don't know, or still maybe don't realize, he's actually a grappler first, and his jiu-jitsu is off the hook. He is so good at jiu-jitsu. When he's got Mike Grundy training with wrestling, he's putting so much together. He's so quick on his feet. Tom is going to be a nightmare for a lot of guys, man. Honestly, it won't be long till you see him pushing up those ranks, and I mean high and fast. Also, she's at the same camp as Blaydes. Yeah, Shana is I think Shana's going to come along. I think one of the things was weight cut as well was a bit of an issue for her, so she looks like she sorted things out in that way, which makes a big difference. So I'm Shana Dobson too, bro. Next up, we have in the featherweight division. Right, it's going to be it's going to go 2 ways, all right? And I'm going to Nate Landwehr against Julian Erosa, man. Nate against Julian. You got Nate, he has got a pretty good chin, got good cardio, very aggressive. You got Julian Erosa, who likes to be evasive, gets hit too much, hasn't got a great chin. Came in short notice to UFC again after getting cut after a local win. Came in short notice, got the W with a submission. I literally see this either Julian's getting knocked out or Julian's going to get a submission. There's 2 ways it's going, and that is it. There's no if, buts, maybes, or whatever. It is going to go that way. Man, Nate is fun to watch, man. If you do not like Nate as an entertainment value, I think you're out your mind. I think Nate Landwehr offers a lot of entertainment. He's very aggressive. He's a great scrambler as well. If it goes to the ground, it's something that Julian Erosa will look to try and take advantage of if he'll want to, because he's got kind of like that height, kind of reach kind of thing. He's going to want to try and make the most of it. But, man, that Woodson win was huge for him. Sean Woodson's got a lot of growth still in him, but, man, that was a huge win at Darce choke for Erosa. But that kind of saved his bacon, you know. If he got another, but if he loses here, man, I would not be surprised, because I think Nate's a tough dude, man. I think Nate's going to be a nightmare for anyone to fight. I just think Nate's just aggressive. He's so aggressive, and Julian Erosa doesn't do well with it at all. He's not the best and most comfortable. Darren Elkins' fight was
Great work from Nate. So think about it. He lost to Herbert Burns. He got knocked out, and then he goes and fights Darren Elkins in his next fight, who's a grinder. I think he just outgrinded the grinder. He's just a new breed in that sense. I think he did it. I think he dodged the bullet when he didn't have to fight Evulav. I think that was a big, big W for him there, because that would have been a night where that would have knocked the wind out of sales, because he would have got. I don't see him getting past him in any way. But here, Julian Erosa, far better matchup, far better suited for him. I don't see Julian's chin holding up too well, man. I'm going to go with a W for our boy Nate. I think he's going to get probably a stoppage. I think he can knock him out. I think he's so aggressive for 3 consistent rounds. It's not like he's aggressive for 1 round. He tapers off. Nate can do 3 rounds, full on coming aggressive. He's very, very hard, very heavy, and very tough to get in there. So I like it, man. I'm a fan of Tom's as well, but even objectively, I think he gets it done. Yeah, Tom's a good lad. Plus 400 in the UK, but it's plus 800 in the US. Is that Shana to win? Is it, bro? What's those odds ones for? Give us some insight, bro, on those odds. Once again, the podcast is not powered by Monster, but if you again wish to power us, feel free to send us any. I don't know if anyone's had the new ginger beer Monster. It's fit. It is, or Peng. I think the phrase is it's Peng. Loving it. Yeah, that mute. Woof, delicious. Let's go to, and they did a mango one or something. That's fit. Next up, we have veteran of the game, Eddie Wineland. Man, it feels like the dude just is timeless. Oh man, do you know what? I'm a huge fan of Eddie Wineland. That dude is, man, he is an absolute savage. Blaydes via sub is plus 400 in the UK and 800 in US. Leaning Blaydes via sub. Nice. Okay. I can see why. DC did it too, so I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. But I'm just going to touch on Eddie Wineland is back for the Renegade Master after his KO loss to Sean O'Malley when he takes on John Castañeda. Castañeda, sorry. I've got to be honest with you. If Eddie Wineland loses this, the dude needs to retire. I know Eddie's lost a couple of bouts. He lost a decision to John Dodson, the Perez decision. He got the Popov win, which he needed to get, really. O'Malley stoppage, is what it is. But overall, Eddie Wineland, he is a testament to what? A no holds barred. He has I think he puts literally 1 strap of tape on his hand and around his knuckle, and that's it. He likes to be bare knuckled. He's just gangster in that way. Yeah, Mueller would have smashed him. Yeah, it would have, my 2 cents. Yeah, it would have been easy money. There would be no decision on that one. But Eddie Wineland here, he literally, it's a do or die moment for him. He's had the break since he's lost that fight. He's 36 years old. He's in a bantamweight division. He's not getting younger. His chin's not getting better. But John Castañeda is not that good. He lost to Nathaniel Wood. He got outstruck. He got outworked. Eddie Wineland's, I think, kind of similar in the sense that he's got good footwork, bounces in and out, puts his chin out a bit too much. He can get hit, but I think John's not fought that great a talent. And he's 1-3 in his last 4 fights. He's fought Kabate, where he fought kind of guys with okay records, but they're not great guys. Skill set isn't anything to write home about in that way. So yeah, I don't get overly hyped for him in that sense. It's nothing against the dude, but man, I just don't see how Matt Brown's going to lose this. I just don't get it. Just not very high on Nate, but I'm probably going to fade Juicy J here. Yeah, because Julian Rose is just not. I don't think 92 cents. I don't think Julian's got a good chin. I think he's okay. Man, I just don't. I'm not that big on Julian Erosa. I just don't see. I think he's a guy who can get beat by a lot of entry level guys into the UFC. I don't think his skill set's one to be worried about too much in that one. But I want Eddie Wineland to beat John here. I think Eddie Wineland can get a decision win against John Castañeda. I just don't see why. If he loses, he's got to retire. Because I'm not being funny. If you're losing to the likes of John Castañeda and Eddie Wineland, what are you doing? You're doing it for a paycheck, and that is it. Other than that, there's no reason to even bother here. There's actually a more entertaining fight coming up next, which I am looking forward to, which is Drakkar Klose versus Luis Peña. Luis Peña, sorry. Luis Peña, Drakkar Klose is a fun-ass fight because you've got a guy in Drakkar Klose who was flying up the ranks, man. You know, the likes of beating Landwehr, Bobby Green, Giagos. He had 3 fight win streak, lost then to the badass that is Beneil Dariush in what was an insane comeback KO from Beneil Dariush. That was just Beneil looked rocked, he looked hurt, and he came back, and it was super impressive. I was really impressed by what he did there. But looking into this fight, man, Luis Peña, I'm not overly hyped. I don't know what it is about Luis Peña. I just haven't ever been into him as a fighter. I've never been like, dude is going to be the best. Like, I don't know why. Beating Richie Smullen in your UFC debut is like the contender final finale. That ain't no big deal. He lost to Trezano, fair enough. Then he beat Peterson, not very good. Beat Matt Wyman, not very good. Then he lost to Frivola, he then realized what guys who are a level above the ones he's just been facing are like, the pace they can put on, the power, the striking, etc. He didn't like it. Then he went back down to a guy called Steve Garcia, big whoop, got a decision win, didn't stop him, got a decision win. And then he fought Carmel Worthy, who's a guy who I'm going to say now is never going to be at the top level, but he's definitely going to bring you. Carmel Worthy's going to bring you stoppages. Whether he gets stopped or he stops someone, that dude's going to be entertainment value for the time he's in the UFC. He got submitted there. It just, for me, Luis Peña is not going to be that high-level guy. He's got high-level profile, but he's not a high-level fighter. I just don't see him get. And he's fighting a guy in Drakkar Klose who's going to be high cardio, aggressive striking, in your face. Whoa. Just my 2 cents. Whoa. Leading Castañeda, but I got a weird feeling about it. Wineland is the better fighter, but it's hard to trust his chin. I don't know. It is, but Castañeda, for me, I don't feel he's got that KO power, really. Man, even Nathaniel Wood has been rocked in the regional scene and in the UFC, and he wasn't able to do much there. I think, you know, the way to beat Eddie Wineland, in my opinion, is to sit back and wait for those strikes to come in, because you see his movement and the line he moves. You want to work the counter game on Eddie rather than be the aggressor on him. You wait for the counter because he's going to come in, he's going to bounce in with his hands, and that's when you counter. You counter hard and heavy, and then you drop him. Yeah, just my 2 cents close. And that, bro, I'm going close as well, man. Like, I think Klose is going to be too aggressive. He can get takedowns on Luis Peña if he wanted to. He get the cage. He can outstrength him. He can hit him harder. I think he'll be more aggressive. I just don't think Luis Peña is going to like it, because Luis Peña wants that bit of space. He won't get what he wants in that fight. I think you're just going to see Drakkar Klose just drown him a little bit in this fight, man. I think it's a step up for Peña, too much for him. And I just think we'll see that Peña keeps falling shy of that upper level, man. I just don't think he's of that standard. Drakkar Klose is definitely a guy who's a worthy kind of top 25 guy in the division. I like Drakkar Klose. I think what he's got is a great skill set, all rounded. So I'm going Drakkar Klose in that one too, bro. We have next up in the featherweight division, Jared Gordon is back against Danny Chavez. Jared Gordon is a dude who is he's a good all-rounder in the UFC, but he's like Luis Peña, never going to beat the upper level guys. He's got a place in the UFC, and it's just on the lower side of that kind of division, man. And it's nothing against the guy as well. I've got nothing against him. He's come up with a guy making his UFC second fight again after he fought TJ Brown. So this is really Danny Chavez's UFC debut, because TJ Brown, he's not exactly a guy you sit there and go, oh, that's a good debut. Like, it's TJ Brown is, he's 0-2 in the UFC so far. Like, you know, it's nothing to write home about, but at the same time, he went in, got a decision win. Not easy to fight in UFC debut and get a W. The kid's fought on the regional scene against some okay opponents. Danny Chavez, he's got the hands for it. And Jared Gordon has been stopped a few times. He likes to get into wars. The Fish Gold fight was really well fought between him and Chris Fishgold. Enjoy that battle, really. The kind of grappling aspect, as well as the top game of Jared Gordon, was key in that fight. Losing to Charles Oliveira was no shock. The Dan Murat fight was okay, but then you got the Joaquin Silva, the Carlos Diego Ferreira. These kind of fights really were damaging to him, and I feel like he can get past the guys who are not on the higher level, but you give him guys who are up that next level, it's going to be hard for him to get past there. So I feel like he's got a bit of a stumbling block in his skill set, where he always will fall short on them. Now, don't get me wrong, at 145, he probably feels better. He probably looks like he's going to feel like he's got power and strength. Danny Chavez, tough outing, man. I'm going to go with Jared Gordon, partly because of you've got experience on Jared Gordon's side. He hasn't fought that often recently. He's only fought like a couple of times over the past few years, which can be a bit of a problem. Whereas Danny Chavez literally fought on the regional scene, then a month later he got to step in kind of short notice to fight TJ Brown. So he's got a chance there to maybe kind of catch him out. But again, I don't hold too much to it. I think that, one thing about Jared Gordon is with the training camp and the guys he has around him, he's just got a lot more experience and knowledge in the fight game, so he can be smart and take the wins with the right way to decisions, like get the grappling aspect. For me, if I'm Jared, I'm going to try to get some top control, really pin the kid down, stop him moving. Austin here, I'm taking a shot at Peña just because I think Klose could be gun shy after getting KO'd. Peña could come back him or stick a move. Yeah, I think Klose should take it. But I got plus 170, so I'm chill with the chance. Yeah, I'd be surprised, man, if I'd be surprised if Klose's gun shy, man. I think he might just go pretty aggressive because he knows that. Man, I don't see Peña being a knockout dude, man. I wouldn't have too much fear in his skill set. I think if I'm close, I actually want to close him down to really get that in there. And I go, Michael. R.I.P. Arlovski. No, Nick. Two grandpas, but dude, they are two grandpas that would kick fucking ass if they were around. Your family or my family or anyone else. They're two badass men. I wouldn't mind having them as my granddads. Imagine that. They'd be sick. It'd be weird having them as my granddad because they're not that much older than me. But yeah, Legion, isn't it? I believe it's pronounced Michael. Yeah, I've got to go with Gordon here. I think he's just got a bit more experience, a bit more savvy in the cage, so I'm going to go that way. Next up we have in the featherweight division. Oh, here we go. Two badasses, yeah. They do find ways to win, Austin. They are. That just, you know what it is? Like you say, that ring craftsmanship, you build after years of being in there. Arlovski changed his whole fight game, folks. Don't forget that Arlovski originally was a dude who came forward, threw hands like lightning, and would put people to sleep. But he was do or die. What's this one? Just my 2 cents. You're saying Lewis can be tricky, but he is, man, because he's so long as well. His stance kind of opens up to it. He opens himself for it. You see, and I feel that Peña feels he's a better grappler than he is, so he feels like comfortable to go to the ground because he thinks I'll submit you, but he's not that high level on the ground. It's not like if you go to the ground, you've got like a Damian Maia to worry about. Someone on the ground who is. You hit the mat, you're thinking, get me the fuck out of here. Like, you haven't got that in Lewis Peña. No one thinks that. If you get past Lewis Peña's guard, then you're okay. It's not so dangerous. His guard is dangerous because he's got the length of the legs and a long body, so it's a bit awkward. But you get past that guard, you're laughing, you get half control, side control, you can start to cause problems. And that's something Lewis Peña's got to be kind of working on in that way. I'm sure he does, but I'm not sure. Yeah, he sits in his guard a lot. He does, bro. And the problem with it is, he's like he's waiting or hoping an opportunity comes up. If I'm in his guard, I know elbows tight, keep him on the hips, and don't put my hands on the mat and keep it tight, man. And don't be silly going giving stuff away. Like I said, sorry. Pat, it's Sabatini is taking on a Rafael or Rafael Alves. It's probably Rafael Alves, but we'll call him that. Man, I've got to be honest with you. Pat Sabatini is a dude. He's a stud, man. He is a stud. He had a fight in CFFC, man, and his arm got popped out. Oh, my good googly moogly. Whew, man, it was gnarly. The dude James Gonzalez got him in like an armbar, and Pat just like stood up with it, and you could see his arm starting to go, and it just went. And the referee was just standing there. It reminded me of Misha Tate and Ronda Rousey in Strikeforce when the arm went over the hip. It was gnarly. And then he stood up and he just pointed at him, like, and the ref went, "Oh yeah, it's off, man." It was gnarly, but the dude came back, man, with a submission of his own and a KO straight after. And prior to all of that, the dude was just causing people nightmares. The guy is a great all-rounder. He's got a good skill set, nice pop in his hands, solid conditioning too, man. He's a little animal. Rafael Alves, he again himself, he was impressive, man. He's been like around the block. He's fought umpteen times on the regional scene in Brazil. He's lost. He's took his licks. He's had submission losses. He's had retirements. He's had it all. Injuries galore. But then he kind of went on a little hot streak. Credit to him. Titan FC. If you watch that promotion, big fan of it myself. He went on there and fought. And to be fair, they do put good matchups there. And he got some good wins, solid wins, guillotine chokes, stoppage of his hand. The Felipe Douglas one was a good one. The dude's a tough guy. Then he got a chance on the Dana White Contender Series against Flores. Again, another submission win. So he's just going from one win to the next. So confidence is high in him, and he's got a nice skill set. I think he's strong in the fight here, but I think Pat Sabatini, for me, there's just something about the dude like that I like, man. I think he's got a good killer instinct about him. He's aggressive in the fight. He's not too tentative. He's not too shy to maybe go in there for that kill. Hence why he got armbarred. He was a bit over-aggressive, didn't see the armbar coming. In hindsight, he should have done. But I'm liking Pat here. I think Pat can just really take the show away. I like Rafael as a fighter. I think the two of them are good additions actually to the UFC, but I feel like Pat here, he's going to take this in both hands and he's going to steal the show. I think he's a great little potential for the UFC to have on their promotion, and look forward to seeing I think he might get a stoppage, man. I think he's just a monster. I think he could actually legit get a stoppage. I want to kick into the main card now. And we've had these comments before. I'm loving the comments. Loving everyone joining in tonight. Love having everyone on for the stream. It makes me and Will love having you guys on the talk. And main card, Arlovski versus Aspinall. We spoke about before. I'm heavy on Aspinall, big time, man. The kid is so good. He, like I said before, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner first and foremost. He's got 6 submission skills, but he's done boxing and took boxing seriously to where it brought him up to an insane level. He was training with Tyson Fury. I'm pretty sure people know who Tyson Fury is, who are watching, but if you don't, obviously boxing, you might want to check it out. He's one of the slickest heavyweight boxers at the moment. His hands are insanely fast, but Tom Aspinall trained with him, sparred with him. And when you train with someone like that and you get those hands, it does nothing but exudes confidence. He's so good at managing his space and time and distance. Arlovski's going to have a rough time here in this one. I like Arlovski a lot as a fighter because even at 42, the dude is not letting himself get absolutely trounced. He's not letting himself get defeated. I think he's smart, Andrei Arlovski. He wants to get paid. He wants to make money, and he gets paid by the UFC, so why would you not keep going? But, decision against Boza, the Linz fight was a decision. They're 2 doable wins for a guy like Arlovski. The two of them don't offer what Aspinall does. Aspinall's a far more dangerous guy than them two. Rosenstruck KO'd him. Saki did well against that one when he lost that, but man, he's got a guy who's going to hurt him. And Arlovski is going to want to grapple against the cage, underhook battles. I think Tom Aspinall has to be smart here. Footwork is key. I am hoping that him and Grundy have done a lot of work with getting off the cage because that's something he's going to have to work on here. I think if Aspinall has the space in this fight and gets the distance that he needs, I'm thinking Arlovski's going to go to sleep here, and I'm not even joking, folks. Tom Aspinall, KO, that's it. I'm going for it. I think he's that good. He's going to absolutely murk Arlovski. It's not to be rude on the dude, but he's going to have a rough night. Next up, we have in the middleweight division, we have the specimen and Phil Hawks against, here we go. Right, I'm going to murder this name. Nassourdine Imavov. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I'll call him Nas. All right, so Phil Hawes, he's a specimen. Oh, Austin, here we go, bro. Let me pop this up here quickly, bro. Tom Aspinall seems like the guy who will ruthlessly KO a vet, to show respect, I love guys versus guys who think about too much, Aspinall on 1, bro. I'm with you, man. Aspinall's just, he's so good with his hands. And if you look at watching his Cage Warriors fights as well, if you just watch his distance management, it's superb. And he's obviously got it from boxing. If you guys pay attention to boxing, it's something that he's learned, and it's craftsmanship that he's got. It's great management in the distance. His timing is beautiful. He's got speed in bucket loads, and he's a big guy. He's not like a light heavyweight. And what I mean by that, like a light heavyweight. He's not like a smaller guy in that division. He's not like a 220. He walks around, big dude, big heavyweight, and he's fast. That is a horrible combination to have. You got a guy who's fast. That's basically what Arlovski was. Arlovski was big, fast, strong. If you've got that in the heavyweight division, you are already advanced. You're already ahead of everyone. Brock Lesnar came in insanely fast for his size and super powerful. You cannot touch it then. If you've got aspects to your game that you find difficult to beat, that is one of them. Here, he has the killer instinct too. Yeah, when he hurts someone, does he? Oh, he pounces on that quicker than a fat girl eating cake. He is legit. God damn it, he is on there quick, and he hurts guys. So, like I say, Phil Hawes, he's a specimen. He's physically, he is an uber athlete, man. The dude is a bad man. But he's fighting a guy in Nas who I quite like Nas, if I'm honest with you. As a fighter, I think he's such a well-rounded skill set. He's got good footwork, good hands. He's got grappling, takedowns. He's got everything in him, man. I really like what he offers. I thought Phil got a gimme. He got like a layup. In fact, he didn't even get a layup. He got a set of steps to walk up before he had a slam dunk. He literally got the hoop lowered, facing Jacob Malkoun. The dude, Jacob Malkoun, is goddamn awful. Awful. Me and Will predicted it would get murdered, and he did. It was an 18-second stoppage, man. Jacob is... it pains me that he got a UFC contract and he got to fight in that cage. It was horrendous. Got to fight against Chad in the Contender Series, got a nice finish there. Again, in Brave, he fought Fraga, I think it was, or Yuri Fraga. He's had a ton of stoppages and wins. Now, if you do or do not remember, he did fight Julian Marquez, and the stoppage was that head kick, and it was a horrendous way to go down as well. Don't forget, he's then had a chance on Dana White Contender Series. Andrew Sanchez was able to stop him on that one. So the guy's got potential, but he's had losses, and you've got to look at these losses seriously. If you look at the guys he's been facing, he's good. He's got a tough opponent here. Man, Nas is a tough cat. He's got good 3 rounds in him. The Jordan Williams fight was a fun one to watch. He's got 3 rounds in him, Nas. He's got good footwork, movement. He's got good grappling aspects. He can absolutely cause a problem here for Phil. Phil is more going to go for the finish and the stoppage. I'd like to see how he performs in the 2nd, 3rd round. Obviously, he hasn't had that problem for a bit, but he has had it in the past where he's not got to the 3rd round. He's got stopped in the 2nd, 3rd. So he's definitely, for me, it feels like Phil might be a hit and miss guy. He's like a 1-rounder and done. And sometimes you put your money on them and sometimes you don't. I'm not putting anything on this guy, Phil. I'm actually going to go for Nas. I think Phil's a beast. I think Nas could actually be a surprise here. If he could tough it out a little bit, look out for the striking, move out the way, get the 1st round for your belt, and then start to really maybe put some strikings into the body, get some jabs into the body, some deep kicks, really make Phil hurt in the gas tank. So I'm going that way. I'm actually going for Nas in this one. I think decision win, man. I think you can really... I think Phil's a great talent, but I just worry that you can't be a 1-round guy. You have to have everything. You have to have 3 rounds. You cannot rely on 1 round to win you a fight. It's 15, not 5 minutes. Next up, we have in the heavyweight division, as we said before, Aleksei Grandad Olenek, who is a credit to him, man. He is doing superb in this division at his tender age of 43 years old. The dude's doing well, man. If I could go for that long and do as well as he is, kudos to him, man. But He got stopped by Derek Lewis. He's been stopped by Harris, Overeem. Maurice Green was a gimme again because Maurice Green has got good striker, but horrendous grappling. Like, horrendous. Like, if you want to fight Maurice Green, just take him to the ground. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's like a fish out of water. He's like a virgin trying to undo a bra. Doesn't know what he's doing. Fumbling, right? Fabrizio Verdum, that was a tighter fight than it should have been. Verdum should have went through him like a hot knife through butter, man. But he was just, I think Verdum was done with his UFC tenure, so to speak, his second time round. I think he was just done with it. And obviously we've seen now he's at the PFL. Yeah. Is it starting to go now for Aleksei? Like, age does play a factor. His style doesn't work well for him. He's fighting a guy in Chris who's, Chris Dacus has lost in the past, man. He has lost. He's been stopped with strikes. He's lost with submissions. So the dude himself in the heavyweight division, it kind of happens. But at the same time, you got to look at it and think, well, Aleksei can just maybe outsmart him. But you looked at that left hook that he dropped on Rodrigo. That was a beautiful bit of handiwork there by Chris, man. That was solid. Rodrigo was a great win. Well, it was a great win. So what I mean is he wasn't a huge opponent, like an experienced vet like this. And Parker Porter, again, he's just a fat man. Like, I'm not impressed by Parker Porter at all. Like, that dude, he definitely never said no to seconds or thirds or fourths or fifths. So, in this way, I think Aleksei has a chance to win. I legit see this as a really tough outing for both guys because Aleksei can get the takedowns and grappling. Sure, remember, Aleksei throws heavy to charge you down, head down, grabs you and get you down. Chris has to use footwork, has to use his hands and land and stop Aleksei. It's going to be a hard outing for both, man. I'm kind of stuck on this one, man. I was toying between the two. I don't think it's as clear-cut as it looks because Aleksei's just a smart, savvy little dude, man. And you've got to remember his grappling aspect is really high level. He can get using submissions standing up, never mind on the ground. But if you're standing against the cage against him, Chris just hasn't fought a guy at that level, really. He's not really been in there with guys at that level yet. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise to him fighting someone like that. I'd like Chris to win because, again, it's nice to see the fresh blood, young blood, so to speak, the new blood come through in the heavyweight division. I'm going to go with Aleksei on this one. Why not? I'm going to go with Aleksei. I think the granddad can do it. I think he's going to get a submission win. I'm going for Aleksei here with a submission win, man. I didn't get that 60th win. But don't shoot me down, guys. I'm still stuck on it. I might even change my mind tomorrow about this pick. We've got next up Charles Rose against Derek Minor, which is a surprise matchup in my opinion, but it's happening. Derek Minor is your guy who is your one-round hit or miss. Charles Rose has been around the UFC for a while now. When did he join the UFC? Short notice against Siva was back in 2014. Dude's been around for 7 years, and he's literally fought about 7 times. It's nuts. The dude doesn't fight often enough. He is literally win one, lose one, win one, lose one. He is due to lose this fight if he follows his sequence. But I'm actually going to go and pick Charles Rose in this one. It's a quick breakdown, this one. I think Derek Minor is a hit or miss in the first round. He'll go for submissions quick, try to latch on. Charles Rose is a black belt man. He is a good grappler. He is a smart fighter. He will be able to evade those submission attempts, man. I don't see him having problems with this. I think he should be able to evade them, keep away from them. Never been submitted in his career. He's won via submissions. I think he might actually turn it around on him and get the submission win himself. I think he'll be smart with Derek, evade the aggression at the start with, and then land his shots himself, and then comes like second, third round. Charles, that's what this dude gets second, third round. He'll tear apart this Minor. So I'm going with Charles Rose in this one. I just think Minor's not that great either. Interesting fight, co-main event. Ketlin Vieira. She is a nasty girl against Yana Kunitskaya. Man, like Yana Kunitskaya is one of those girls who doesn't really do anything extraordinary, but she's just really hard to beat. She's a hard cookie to crack, and she is relentless in her kind of fight game. Let's go to Caitlin, though. Caitlin beat Sijara Eubanks, which for me is it's a meh win. I don't rate Sijara Eubanks one little bit. I think she overrated herself. I don't think she realizes she ain't that good. I think the Ketlin Vera fight that was a bit rough was the Aldana fight where she got sparked in that one. Like, God, man, that was a nasty KO by Aldana, man. That was heavy going, but it was a beautiful knockout. Prior to that, though, Ketlin, the fight against Kat Zingano, that was a good fight. But for me, Ketlin Vera is another one. Inconsistency in the cage. She 2017, 18, 19, 20, 4 fights, 4 years. She's fighting almost once a year, and inconsistency is not good for a fighter. It's not good for you to fight irregular. You need to get consistency, and it helps get your performance up. Yana Kunitskaya had an injury, I think it was, she had for a little bit, and then she came back in August, had a fight, got a win. She lost the fight to Aspinall. There was slight controversy in her eyes, but she felt, she was doing well there. Again, she's another girl she's only fought the Lena Landsbergs, the Renaults. She's not fought the higher level girls yet. At least with Ketlin Vera, she has fought the upper level, so to speak, the Sarah McMahons, the Kat Zingano at the time. She has fought some tough girls. So she isn't new to this game in that sense. The Ashley Evans Smith fight as well was not a bad win for Ketlin Vera. I think it's going to be a hard fight for Ketlin in this one, because I think Yana Kunitskaya is going for those takedowns. She's got her partner as well in Thiago Santos. Let's not forget that, who is a Muay Thai monster. So I think Yana Kunitskaya will have had a lot of work with him. He would have advised her. I would like to hope and think, this is my theory, that he's advised her on what to look for with the striking, on defense, adding stuff to her game to help engage in the grappling. Because when she gets on top, she's a great little heavy top game girl. She can keep girls pinned down. She can really cause them problems. I think Yana Kunitskaya's got way more arsenal than Sajara Eubanks, for example. And she's a big girl. I think both of them are kind of big girls for the weight class, but Ketlin Vera is aggressive. She can be susceptible to getting hit. I think Yana Kunitskaya here, we've seen her face just blow up like a balloon when she gets hit. But I'm going to go here with Yana Kunitskaya here. I just feel that she's got a good heavy top game, nice inside-outside leg trips. I like what she can do with the clinch game. She's good at getting those fights to the ground when you don't see it coming. Next up, we have the main event, which is Derek Lewis, hot balls against Curtis Blaydes. Man, Austin, I think it was you that said it before, bro, about how you got a submission for Curtis Blaydes. I'm actually going that way as well. A 5-round fight. Curtis Blaydes has only been stopped by Francis Ngannou. And other than that, everyone else just does not do well against him, man. And he's a tough dude, man. Curtis Blaydes got insane numbers on the wrestling, grappling. Derek Lewis can't defend takedowns too well. He just gets up by strength and relies on being big to get up off the ground. He's got the back issue, which is something that's been plagued with him for a long time. Man, it's short and sweet, man. I'm only going one way, and it is all the way with Curtis Blaydes. I don't see him losing this fight. I think he's got no issues. I think he's going to do well in this, man. Submission win all day long. I'm with it. I'm going submission for Curtis Blaydes. There's not much to say in the main event. I think it's an actually easier main event to break down than a lot of them. Derek Lewis, he is that kind of guy who pulls it out the hat last minute, but the kind of what you got to watch with Curtis Blaydes is when he gets you down, his top pressure is immense, and it just drains you. It's like DC did with Derek Lewis, man. You can get him down, you can get on top of him, you can drain him, you can take the life out of him in that fight, and it's nothing left in him. And I think that's going to happen here. I think you might see maybe a second round or third round submission to Blaydes, but I just don't see where Lewis is going to win this fight, man. I don't see it getting to the 5th round for him to have a last-minute Hail Mary right hand down the pipe. Curtis Blaydes has learned his lesson twice with Ngannou. I think the problem is with Ngannou was he's way faster than Blaydes as well, the striking. Than Derek Lewis is. So I'm going straight away, bang, that's me. Submission win, guys. So I'd love to know your picks if you haven't mentioned them already, or if you're just checking this out after the live streams went. So I'd love to know who you're picking in the fight card. I'm going to again subscribe to the channel. If you're new, hit that sub button. It only takes a second on YouTube to hit a sub button. Join us. Join part of the community that we have here, and join in MMA, man. We just love to share MMA conversation and have a good time with it. Like we had Kelton on last week. Join in, subscribe to his channel. Nice guy, loves his fight game just as much as anyone. So feel free to join in. I'm going to go to the betting side quickly, guys. I'm just going to look at some of these odds. I've not seen the odds too much. I haven't got any prop bet odds. I'm just going to go to straight odds for the fights. Eddie Wineland, John Castañeda. So Wineland's a plus 105 and Castañeda's a minus 125, man. I love plus money on him, man. I'd put money on him, man. Big time. Hey, Gustav, how you doing, buddy? Lewis Balls may not be hot, but Curtis will still be shooting for them. He will be going balls deep for that, mate. He will be. We'll be all over that. Jared Gordon, Danny Chavez, I've got here, plus 116 for Gordon, minus 135 for Chavez. A lot of money coming in there for Chavez. That's interesting, man. Gordon dog on this card. Whew. Again, Shana Dobson is plus 130 and Casey O'Neill's minus 150. Whew, guys, there's some dogs here on this card, man. Don't get me wrong, these odds are tight because some of these fights aren't easy to call. Julian Erosa is minus 110. Nate Landwehr, minus 105. That's a pick 'em. Okay, cool. At minus 105, man, I'd be all over that for Nate. I'd even wait to see if that line changes. If that moves a little bit more to like the plus money, you got to jump on it. Naz against Phil. Here we go. So we've got Naz is plus 110. Phil is minus 125. Again, that's a tight fight again from the pick. Plus money on a dog. I'd go that dog easy. Drakkar, Klose, Lewis, Peña. Here we go. These are kind of odds I was expecting with this one. Drakkar, Klose, minus 175. Lewis, Peña, plus 155. Don't get me wrong. If you think Peña's got it in him, plus 155, you got to take it. But minus 175 for Klose, that sounds about right. Chase Skelly and Jamall Emmers. Chase is plus 135 and Jamall Emmers is minus 220. I don't get that. I can't get my head around that. What? Who is picking those odds? Right. Okay. Cool. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Right. Let's just quickly. Oh, what's going on here then? There we go. Boom. That's it. Yeah, I don't get those odds. I'm going to go with plus money and Chase all day on that one. That's great odds. Sergey, here we go against Jared. So Sergey's minus 240. Yeah. Jared plus 110. Dead on. Spot on it. Maybe 150. I'd go for, but let's stick with that. Zahabi is plus 160 and minus 175 for Drako. Yeah, that sounds right. I'd go with that one. I like that. Those odds are good. I wouldn't touch it then. Sabatini is plus 165. Alves minus 190. Man, that's too much of a gap. That's way too much of a gap. Again, Pat plus money. Loving that. Arlovski plus 210. Aspinall minus 240. People have been putting money on Tom big time. Oof, that's some big odds. Let's go with Olenek is plus 155. Chris Dacus is minus 165. Those odds aren't too bad. Those odds aren't bad at all, guys. You know, for Olenek, obviously, I look at the sub side of things. Olenek, see what it is for a submission win. I'm sure the odds are kind of good for that one. Mine is plus 163. Rosa minus 188. 188. That sounds good. I like those odds. 188. You could parlay Rosa with someone. Get yourself some plus money on that one. Definitely. Vieira is minus 275 and Kunitskaya is plus 230. Dang, no one likes Kunitskaya, do they? Jeez, no one likes her. God damn it, those odds are crazy. Curtis Blaydes, last but not least, he is minus 380 and Lewis is plus 333. To be fair, let's not take anything away from Blaydes. He is a monster. He is that kind of perennial contender. He just keeps falling short because Ngannou's there. But he's going to be probably, I don't know how do you even make that fight? Ngannou beats Stipe. How do you even make the trilogy? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. But that's the picks. That's the picks and the bets done. Thanks for joining in. It was a longer card than usual, so I tried to break it down as kind of quickly as I could with the key points of what I saw in the breakdowns. I'll be back next week for the next card, which is, I forgot already. I've already forgot which card is next weekend, but I'll be back next weekend for it. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like the video. Only takes a minute, girl, to fall in love. Fall in love. Oh, Garnet versus Rosenstruck. Oh my gosh, that gives me a chub on just thinking about that fight. Whew, right. Guys, girls, I love you all. I want you to enjoy your week. Peace and love. And enjoy the fights, guys and girls, okay? I'll see you soon.